Guys, you're
Johnson
on.
was a Mojave guy. What's up, guys? Good morning. We're just telling a little bit of basketball lore of the local legends here. But we have a couple of really special guests here today. And I can't wait to talk some local basketball with you guys, but we're going to focus on River Valley basketball. Coach, welcome. Appreciate you for coming on. And our new 1,000-point scorer, senior, Nash. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We were just talking about kind of the history of River Valley basketball going back. River Valley's had some really good teams, but this might be the best team in modern history. We were talking about Max Preps doesn't even go back far enough to measure anymore. But what is the record currently? I know you guys are one loss in conference.
Yep.
On a roll, looking to get a good playoff spot.
Yep. Right now we're 23-6, so definitely one of our best years ever compared to last year, 7 wins. The year before that, 4 wins. So it's been a huge turnaround. You know, Nash was a part of the 1-17 varsity team 4 years ago. So now that we're 23-6 and we have a chance to get to the playoffs, it's huge.
It's really cool. So it's actually really cool that you get to be a part of that because a lot of times culture changes happen over a longer period of time, and the guys who were there and worked through it don't always get to see the results of what they put in. But I wanted to talk to you about the turnaround because we were 7-win team last year.
Yep.
20-win team this year.
Yep.
It doesn't happen without a lot of work. So tell me a little bit about what went into turning that thing around. I mean, that's a massive turnaround, especially we're not talking about the modern college world where you went out and threw a bunch of NIL money around. And,
right? I know.
That's true. I wish.
Yeah, right?
Man.
I think I'd lose that game. I don't have enough money to throw around. So.
Yeah. No, it was a huge turnaround. I think from the start it was just identifying kind of where we were at, kind of being present in the moment and knowing where we were at and knowing we had to really develop skills and we had to put in time into the team that we wanted to become. We really wanted to be fast. We wanted to shoot threes. We wanted to play hard defense. So those are kind of things we keyed in on. And over the past couple of years, we're finally able to see it come through. Nash has been a huge part. He gets a lot of freedom to shoot a lot of threes. He makes a lot of threes. Right now, he's actually number 1 in the nation with 4.9 threes a game. So, I mean, number 1 in the nation is huge in anything, and it's not Mojave Valley, Arizona. That's the whole nation. So he's put in a lot of work. All the guys that have been committed have put in a lot of work, and, it's been a long, hard journey. I think the biggest thing was when we were bad, it was taking those games and really trying to use those as teaching experiences and kind of learning experiences. I feel like refs will come over to us a lot this year and we'll be winning by so much and they'll want to go running clock. And I remember our first years, I would always refuse the running clock because I felt like if we're getting beat that bad, we need to go against this competition and use these minutes as time to build. It sucks losing in the moment, but it feels great going through it and then turning it around and seeing the other side. So
Yeah, absolutely. So I will tell you, I've heard nothing but good things from people, whether it be refs, other coaches, things like that. And so I went out and I've probably watched you guys play 4 or 5 times this year. And the difference in the way your team warms up versus the way they used to warm up.
It's a different culture out there.
It like I walked in and before I ever saw an actual live game moment, I went, oh, they're good. They're going to be good.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what you changed. Obviously, you have a lot of the same kids. You do have some kids that came into your program, but you have a lot of the same kids.
Yep.
But they're a different team. What did you do?
Man, it was a long process for sure. I think the first part is kind of making sure the kids know how much you care about them. Kind of matters more than them kind of taking what you know. So I think for that first year, I was assistant. Gilbert was the head coach. And I kind of took that whole first year to just kind of get to know the kids. I know Nash specifically, we started shooting around after practice, maybe 3-4 times a week, just like 15 or 20 minutes, but just kind of building that chemistry and trust. So the next year when Gilbert left, we kind of had that built up camaraderie and we could kind of work together. I've always been
Thank you, Jeff.
one of the people who thinks that players kind of make the team, and players that coach other players and players that keep each other accountable is way more important than me trying to do it and kind of force my will. So bringing all the kids in and kind of just building a better culture. We went out, we did a lot of events for the community. So we actually got out and did some park cleanups and different things. We kind of got off the court. We went out and had meals. We went and did a big Flagstaff tournament. So I think bringing everyone together as a team and as friends kind of started to change the culture. And then the more we worked on skills and the more we continued to get better, they started kind of having faith and having a little bit of trust in the process. And I think one of the biggest turning points for me, we played a team, we just talked about ALA, we got them coming up our next game. We played them last year at ALA. We lost by 40 points. They destroyed us. It was nothing. We didn't even deserve to be on the same court. And we came home, we game planned, we kind of got it together, and 3 weeks later we played them again. Nash had a huge game, our last game last year, and we beat them by 2. And I remember some of the kids were like in shock that we won, and we were just like on top of the world.
What a great problem.
But it was like, that was kind of the building point where we saw we lost, we worked through it, we won, and then we used that to go into this year, and it kind of changed everything for us.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So Nash, I want to ask you, from the player perspective, you have been there when you came in as a freshman. Obviously, a couple rough years. Now you're seeing the. So I want to talk about how much fun it is to be on the top, right?
It's way
But
better
I
than
also, it's way better, right? But I also want to hear your perspective of the turnaround. I mean, these are guys that you knew, played with. You saw coaches, come and go.
I think the difference this year between all the other years is that we came together this year. Like we're friends at school, we're friends outside of basketball, we're friends outside of practice. We all bond together. Like Coach said, we've been doing things for the community like together. I think it's just a little bit different this year. We come into games as one unit, not just coming in as playing bunch of 1v1 ball. It's nice to step on the court and be like, all right, I got these guys next to me that are gonna help me. We're gonna win games.
Yeah.
So I mean, going from 7 wins in 3 years to 7 wins in the first 7 games this year was, a huge change. But
A little different.
Yeah, a good change.
Way more fun.
Yeah.
So, Coach, where'd your basketball background come from? What is your, what is your history of getting here?
Yep. I'll go through quick. I grew up in Phoenix. I played at Pinnacle High School. I played in the summers. I played with a team called Southwest Rebels. We'd travel around and play. I had a really strict high school coach that kind of gave seniority the leash. So with my AAU team was where I kind of really grew. I went on a couple visits my junior year. I went to Pepperdine University. I went to Davidson University. I had some offers that I didn't take going into my senior year, and I tore my ACL my first game my senior year. So I missed that. I went to Yavapai Community College for 2 years. I went to a school called Baker University in Kansas for 2 years. And then I basically went to LA for about 10 years and started a basketball training company. So I did all private, skill development. I kind of grew that into teams, into camps, into clinics. So I was in LA for 10 years and I completely loved it. I loved my life. My cousin Sydney got drafted to Sparks out there, so I was training her. Some of my biggest clients were like Kendrick Lamar and Robert Ory, and so it was just a different atmosphere out there. COVID kind of did what it did to us in LA, so we moved out here and kind of jumped on with Gilbert as the assistant coach first year, and Gilbert had to move on. He had a baby, he had some other responsibilities, and took over the team 2 years ago, and that's kind of where we are now.
Well, I'll tell you, we're lucky that it played out that way,
Yeah.
and these kids are lucky now. They're seeing the what can be done and kind of changing a culture in basketball. So, you had mentioned, kind of your path. It's always an unconventional path to wherever you are, right? I mean, I imagine your senior year, you blow your ACL out, your world crumbled right there.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah, it's brutal. And then, we're talking about Yavapai. Yavapai is not a bad place to land, but you're talking about Pepperdine, and that's a big swing.
Davidson,
well, at
too.
Davidson, I obviously didn't know this at the time, but I would have been freshman with,
Steph?
Yeah. So kind of that would have played out my life differently, but Yeah, I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful for basketball. It's, given me so much in my life, and I've touched so many kids and worked with so many people. It's just, I love the game genuinely, like with all my heart, and it feels really good to pass it on and see people like Nash and these kids like really taking a run with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I found out where Coach came from. I already know where you came from. I don't know, do we have that video, Jeff?
Yeah, we do.
This is where you got point number 1, apparently.
The rec days.
Where so many good local basketball players come from. I assume that's out Needles Rec?
Yeah.
Yeah. Coach, I don't know how familiar you are with the area. I'm sure you've gotten familiar.
Yep.
But basketball kind of grows out of that Needles Rec Center.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if that was point 1 or maybe 2, but
I don't remember. That's too long ago.
so I put in, Facebook got way better with their search. I put your name in there, and I was actually looking for the first athlete of the week we did for golf.
Yeah.
And I think we even joked about being accurate and hitting the hole or something, you know. But then I saw that and I was like, oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So
I actually have another clip of, I think, that same game where I crossed some kid. I wish I could pull that up.
But, tell us a little bit about your basketball journey. Hooping, starting out in Needles, growing up with these guys. It is a basketball culture out there, and it kind of just, really, when you look at a lot of the best basketball players come out of the area, they come out of that rec center.
Yeah. I started when I could walk. I touched basketball the first time I could walk. My dad played a huge role in where I am now. I was coached by him for the first 8 or 9 years through AAU, through whatever little organization I was playing in. Rec ball was big because, like you said, all the best basketball players out here go play rec first. So I got to go play with all the Needles kids, and that helped me build up my talents and that kind of things. And then I came to River Valley my freshman year, and we sucked, and I honestly thought I wasn't ever going to play basketball again. And then Brock came in, and we turned it around from junior and senior year, and ever since then, I have no regrets.
I will say one good thing about basketball is you can always keep playing basketball. It may not. One thing I tell high school kids, though, is playing high school basketball is special. AAU tournaments are cool. Pickup games are fun. The playground has its moments. Man, playing high school basketball is
Run out with
special.
student sections and all
The
that.
whole
It's
bit.
different, yeah.
The whole thing is very special. And people that don't really embrace it or get to experience it really miss out.
Yeah.
But that led to scoring 1,000 points in your high school career.
Yeah.
So that's pretty spectacular, especially when you're struggling, you're playing tough teams, you're not getting a lot of great opportunities. You have a down year, and despite all that, man, you come out of 1,000-point score. So I think we do have a picture. I did see the video. I didn't have time to steal it from your mom's Facebook. So.
There we go.
Is that the other senior?
Yeah. That's Gabe.
Only 2 seniors on the team, which is also, that's awesome, man. And I'll tell you,
Yeah.
that's got to feel great.
Best feeling of my life.
Well,
Sure.
if you guys were 5 and 15 and you hit your 1,000, there's no way it feels the same as
No,
what you've
probably not.
accomplished as a group.
Yeah.
That's a win-win scenario right there. So it had to have been kind of like the peak, or maybe like the cherry on top of this year, right?
No, my entire basketball career, honestly.
Pretty
Cherry
awesome.
on
So tell me a
top,
little bit
yeah.
about the 1,000 points. I saw it looked like you hit a 3. How fitting,
Yeah.
right? Hit a 3 for your 1,000. They took a break in the game, celebrated. Tell me a little bit about it.
I came into this year way behind on points because I missed a lot of games for injury my junior and sophomore year. But I knew we were talking with Brock, and I knew we were gonna get some more games on the schedule, so we were actually have 25 plus or whatever. And I came out last night. I needed 14 for 1,000, and I hit 8 straight in the first quarter. And I was hot. I wasn't missing. And then we took a timeout, pause. It was one of the coolest moments of my life, honestly.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool, man. Did you have a good crowd for that?
Oh yeah, everyone was there. All the families were there. All my friends
Was the
were
student
there.
section there?
Yeah.
Did they get in trouble? They get yelled at?
No. They do every game at least once.
Right.
So I went and watched that game, and that student section was packed. They were down on the floor. They were loud. And it reminded me when I played in high school, I hadn't seen that locally in a long time.
Yep.
And I don't know how it was when you played, but when I played, it was like newspapers out. It was chants. It was the whole student section. And at Mojave, they sat dead square in the middle. They took over that whole middle of that gym.
Yep.
And it was a fun environment. And to go out there, play good basketball, have a good student section, it's what it's all about right there.
Yeah, we really got to shout out those guys on the helmet right there, because those guys are who come out and
Yeah, a bunch of them guys
for the
sure.
student section and show us love.
Yeah, and did Hunter do the ESPN thing?
Yeah, we did that once earlier this year. That's
made me
always
laugh.
sick.
I love it. It's so fun,
Yeah.
man. Coach, you guys talked about the style of play. You like to play fast, shoot a lot of threes. Is that the natural evolution of basketball? Is that an assessment of the talent you have and how you're going to win? Tell me a little bit about where that comes from.
Yeah, I think it's a part of both. It's obviously where the game is going. I personally have always liked that style. Jason Williams is my guy and my favorite player ever, so I love leaning towards like the flashiness and the speed and the shooting. I was a shooter. My cousin Sydney, who I just brought up, she's the all-time Pac-12 leader in threes made. So I've kind of guided my career through three-pointers, and we go on to Nash. He's, like I said, #1 in the nation with threes per game this year. We got another player, Dom. Nash is #2 in Arizona, and Dom is #4 in threes made. We got Owen over there at Malk. So actually, we're really kind of holding it down for the state of Arizona. In this little area. We have really some of the best shooting out here. So, and I take pride in it just because obviously it's great to have those big D1 athletes and big guys and guys that can do all these things. But a lot of my players, and especially in LA too, it was on the development side where I really loved it. And you get these guys that don't have the natural, and it feels like obviously ball handling is a big thing that I push. Passing, and then, shooting threes. You just got to get in where you fit in, and if that's your style and that's what your skill set kind of allows, I kind of try to maximize that. So I know we're not going to go into any gym and bully any team out, but we can get in and we can run and we can shoot threes, and that's going to keep us in the game always. So
So obviously that's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
Tell me about that from a player perspective. Coach comes into practice, goes, listen, guys, I need you to shoot more threes.
Oh, yeah.
You just go, I got you, Coach.
Yeah, no, he makes sure that we know we got the green light. We get our shots up. I like that style of play too. A lot of people can't even keep up with us because we're just up and down the court. So if three or four of us are hitting threes all the time, 3 or 4 a game, I don't see a reason why we should stop playing that style of play.
Right. Well, and I had watched a couple of your games in that holiday tournament, and teams kind of recognized that player X was the hot player that day, and that guy, moved off the ball, pushed it around, and found it, and you made him pay with a lot of other guys. And so it's really, it really is nice and complimentary when you have a lot of teams usually have the one hot shooter, the one guy that's lights out, and you guys have a collective.
We got 5 guys that can score the ball.
Yes, and so a team would really adjust, try to take someone away, and you guys just move it around selflessly, and have a group of guys that can really score it. So
yeah, I think our freshman and sophomore year, we were kind of stuck with maybe just like 1 or 2 guys that were actually out there to score the ball or were looking to score. But this year, our entire starting 5 is out there to put points up, and that's helping us get to these numbers of like 92 a game, 100 a game, and stuff like that. We're putting up a lot right now.
So there's a couple of high schools and even small colleges in the Midwest that basically just live. They're just going to shoot it and put it up. But they lose a lot of games because they put up 80 and give up 90.
Yep.
You guys play nasty defense.
Yep.
You're surprisingly long defensively.
Yep.
You have some length. Everybody moves, and you pressure the ball.
Yep.
Does that feed into the type of play in that you want to be fast, or is that more taking people out of their sets where they need to be?
I think more into playing fast. I just like getting up and pressuring. At our division right now at 3A, there's only so many ball handlers on each team. So I feel like getting up, really wearing them down, using our cardio, because that's a big part of our training has just been running, getting in shape. We do team stretching. We do a lot of things together to really push our physical. And so I like pushing the speed to kind of speed up the game, get the other team out of a kind of funk, and it gets us into the game we want to play. Right. Because we would almost rather play a chaos style where steals are happening and we're going up and down versus having to run sets, even though we've put sets in and we have sets we can run. And obviously against the best teams, you can't bully them into playing your style. So you need sets. And so we've kind of worked hard on that back part of the season to get that part kind of down. But our run and gun style is definitely ours.
You know, and it seems like you play, you know, you could probably correct me. I've been out of basketball a long time. So it's funny, a lot of the stuff is the same, but it got cool new names, you know. Yeah. I'm like, we used to call this a pick and roll, or we used to call this a pick and pop, or, you know, now it's all got cool new names. But you guys play like a really aggressive front court press and then seem to bail if you don't get what you want out of it and settle in. Is that by design? Is that, you know, you're hoping to get that immediate turnover? What's kind of the philosophy there?
I like running it kind of like almost like it's a man-to-man / zone style. So whenever people are going and we see angles where we're in a help side or we're in a good position to trap, we have our certain areas that we really like to try to trap in and force the ball. And then if we can create it, we obviously get a trap and get up in passing lanes. If we don't create it, we scramble back and we just kind of match up. We're pretty versatile in being able to match up with any player, so that helps us a lot, being chaotic in the press and then being able to get back and still match up. Because I agree, that wasn't something I wanted to do, was be a team that gave up baskets. I feel like a lot of pressing teams are kind of like, we'll just give it up, and if we give up the basket, it's cool because we're going to go try to score. I would rather try to stop you really hard, but we're still trying to score. Yeah. And I feel like that's a difference.
Well, and I know that it's just like every sport, you know, I'm going to try to do what you can't do to me and vice versa. And if you have a good press break, you usually get a lot of easy baskets out of it. You know what I mean? But you guys seem to fall back in your half court really fast, you know. And a lot of that is that you have some depth on your team. Like you said, your top 5, all ballers. But your next batch isn't bad either. And I had noticed that you guys really, you know, sub out pretty seamlessly. Really doesn't affect your game a whole lot. Tell me a little bit about, and it's basketball, how many you got on a roster, like 12?
Well, we have 8 on our varsity team per se, and then we pull up 7 more from the JV that are kind of, they help practice, they're there for the games, they're able to be there if we need them.
And they're gaining valuable experience.
Correct.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about the roster you have. Don't want to skip anybody, but it happens, so apologies if we do. We don't have a team picture, do we, Jeff?
I don't think so.
Sorry about that, guys.
Well, yeah, we do. Hold on.
One with 1,000.
Yeah, so look at this picture. Tell me who we got here, because you have a good group of guys and all talented in their own way. Tell me a bit about these guys, Coach.
Well, we've got Gabe and Nash, our 2 seniors. Gabe and Nash have been huge for the program. Like I said, they were the part of the beginning, and they were kind of the big part of the change. So Gabe and Nash, we've got Dom. He's over there. Great guard for us. He was on the team last year, but he wasn't able to play because of a transfer. So having him practice was cool last year, but having him in games is,
kind of silly.
I know.
But anyway, we'll get on a tangent there.
So we
Sorry,
got
Coach.
Dom. We've got Ethan, who's a junior with us this year. Ethan's been around since the beginning, freshman when I first came on. And Ethan, he's completely changed.
Stepped up huge.
He's a different player than he was, so he's helped our depth a lot. And then we've got River Lee, who's a sophomore.
What numbers are they?
Ethan is number 4.
Number 4, okay.
Yep, and then we got River Lee. I think River's number 2. Okay. And Rivers, he's going to be a great player. He might go down as one of the best players in River Valley history, honestly, a sophomore. And he helps us do a lot of what we're trying to do. He gets up and runs, and he gets up and pressures, but he can play outside. He's going to help us a lot moving forward. And then we've got Nathaniel. Nathaniel's another one, junior, there from the start. Nathaniel might be one of the best players we have, honestly. He just needs to figure some things out, and, you know, we'll keep putting confidence into him, but I think he's going to have a great year next year. And our last 2 would be Lennon and Laz. Laz is a junior. He's worked really hard to get to the point where he's at, and Landon's a sophomore. And Landon's actually a really solid player too. We have a good upcoming class, so it feels bad. It's going to be, really hard to replace Nash and Gabe, and, man, I get kind of teared up thinking about it just because, man, they've been here. It's not going to be the same, and River Valley is Gabe and Nash, and I don't know anything beyond them, so it's going to be really tough to lose them, but we have a really bright future too.
So Nash, you have been here the whole time. You are a leader on that team. You've accomplished a lot. What have you tried to hand down to these guys so that it's in a good place when you're gone? Obviously, coach is responsible for it, but as a player, those are your guys. What have you tried to hand down to them?
I don't know if I really hand down anything to them, but I do make sure that that it's not just going to be this year that River Valley's going to be good. The next 2 years we're going to be top of our conference, I'm sure. So just making sure the guys know that no matter what happens this season, wherever we end out, show up next year, show up over the summer, because the next year team's going to be, it's going to be better than this year, I think. But just going into practice with a level head and being confident and making sure the sophomores and the juniors are doing what they're supposed to, but in a nice way, obviously. And just being there for them. And
we're okay with nice-ish.
Yeah, well, it's not always nice. It's not always nice. I've been talking to River a lot lately. I've been trying to get into his head that he's the best player that I've seen around here in a long time. And if he just keeps showing up and keep going, that he's going to be, like Brock said, probably one of the best players to ever come out of River Valley.
Yeah. We're talking a little bit about River Valley history. I just tried to message Chad Christensen to get a little historical data. He didn't answer, but I'd love to know if anybody out there knows how that late 90s River Valley team ended up doing. Really good team, really good coach. They were deep. They had a kid, we were talking before we started, transfer from Mojave named Tony Johnson. 6'8". It was, what year was it? I don't know what year that Blue Chips movie came out. Do you remember that?
Must have been 90.
Great movie. Nick Nolte, Shaq.
Yeah.
I think Penny Hardaway was in that movie. But when they go and they find Neon Boudreaux and he's dunking in the alleyway, and there's people just everywhere. That's how the River Valley gym was every game when they played. And I would love to know how that team did. I don't know if any of the Tice brothers are out there. They're on my Facebook somewhere, or Craigie or Sonny, but they would know how those teams were. But I will tell you, it's the best River Valley team I've seen since then, and that team was special. So it's been an absolute ton of fun to watch. I'd like to ask you a couple more things. I don't want to keep you all day. I've noticed you're in the gym all the time.
Yep.
I'd see you at open gyms. I'd see you at men's league. I'd see you everywhere. How much is that a part of growing your athletes in the off season? So many people show up in the season and just want to play.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about your philosophy on off season, what an off season really is.
It's by far the most important thing to me, by far. I think I'm a good coach, and I think I know the X's and O's. I have the experience. I know what I'm doing, but I think I'm a great, top-notch trainer and skill developer. So I kind of look at the basketball players as we get in, we develop skills, we work on all those little things, and then the season, it kind of becomes more of a thing where we're working as a team together. So I really push the skill development and everything we go with that, but then when it goes to the season, I like to include the kids, and I like to ask them, I'll say what I think, but what do you guys think, or what do you see, or what's your opinion on this? And so for me, going back to your question, it's all about the summer to me. If you're not there in the summer, it's hard for me to even consider putting you on the team for the year, because I think a problem with the first years when we started was that exact thing. We were getting into the season, we weren't able to work on team plays or strategies or anything team. We were using our season as our summer to just work on layups and dribbling and how we do proper things. So it's really nice having the summer to work on skills, develop, get what we need to do, and then in the season, that should kind of be the party time where you guys are getting out and having fun and competing and, doing it that way. So we were having trouble. We were doing it backwards for the first couple of years. And I think this last year was our first year of like a full summer. The kids bought in. Nash bought in. He was there all the time. Gabe, you know, all the players that are on the team now were there over the summer. So that's huge for me.
And massive success. What a shocker, huh?
I know.
Buy-in, effort, time commitment. What a shocker, huh? How do you feel? And I'll give you a little pretense of my pet peeve that I don't think that AAU and travel things are serving the purpose that people think they are.
Yep.
There is a place for it. You need to get games in. You need to get exposure. I get all that. How does that like perfect puzzle work for you with off-season development? You know, I'm a weight room guy. You got to be stronger, faster, conditioned if you want to compete with stronger, faster, more conditioned people. AAU, so I feel like all people do is run around and chase games all summer, all off-season for that matter. How would that perfect formula fit in your eyes?
Yeah. Oh, man, it's tough because I know games are important. I know everyone loves to play games. Me personally, I'm not the hugest fan of games, especially if you're not able to get quality games. I feel like I like doing with our team where we do our skill work, and then if we want to play games, we're going to come in on a Saturday and we'll scrimmage and play with each other, or we'll bring some people in and play. But I just don't really love driving to Vegas and spending my whole weekend up there to play a couple games when we could hop in the gym, we can control it and kind of do it on our own. Right. So I don't know. It's a hard mix because I understand you do need games and you need them, but are you getting the correct games? What are you working on in the games? You know, are you worried more about winning the games or on getting better for maybe the high school season? You know, it's easy to maybe sit in a zone because you have a big guy and win games, but if you get to the high school season and all you play is man-to-man, you know, what did you really accomplish? So
I try really hard not to be the grumpy old man who doesn't like all the new things.
I do
but
too.
it creeps in on me quite a bit. And I'll see parents post highlights of their kids' AAU games. You're like, terrible play, turnover, no offense, dribble, steal, dunk. And they post that. And all I see is 3 turnovers, no possessions, no anything. All you saw was the dunk. And it drives me crazy. And I actually think it hinders a lot of good players' development. That's why they're great at 15 and they're the same at 18. And it drives me crazy. And I really, obviously, I'm out of the game. So I was curious what, you know, especially doing as much, you know, individual training and skills development, especially in LA where it's really an epicenter of high-end sports, where all that fits in. But
yeah, it's tough for sure. I think when I brought up earlier, I played on AAU was like, AAU was sanctioned and there were X amount of AAU teams and you tried out for those teams, and if you didn't make the team, you didn't play AAU. There was AAU tournaments, and it seems like now it's kind of like whoever wants to grab a team, and if he grabbed a team and I grabbed it and he grabbed it, and we can put a tournament together and we play round robin games and everyone gets a trophy, and it's just it's a different style than I don't know. I like the ground root style. I know I'm not that old, but I'm not that young either, and I still have that like old school mentality, and I still really appreciate just competing, playing with your coach you're gonna be with, playing with your teammates you're gonna be with. I feel like a lot of people just go out to, like Nash said, it's almost like how the mentality was at the beginning was, I'm just showing up for myself. And we got 5 guys that are all showing up for themselves. We all want to get buckets and we all want to score, but it's like, it's not progressing basketball players, and especially not for the next level. If you want any chance to play at because there's a lot of colleges, and there's junior colleges, and there's D3 and D2 and NAIA, and you don't have to be this D1 stud to play college basketball, but you have to have skills and you've got to play the right way. And some of these kids, it's kind of sad because we have had kids that I've seen in this area, Mojave, that are like talented and they have the size and they have everything, but they were just never held accountable, and they just played these local things, and they ended up, you know, where they ended up.
And then they're going to dominate Rotary for a few years.
Yeah, I know, right? I know.
I've been there. I won a lot of Rotary basketball games. It didn't really matter. No one cared. So, Nash, what is your plans Are you plan on trying to play basketball? Are you gonna golf? What? We were joking. We already show that? I tried to find that OG athlete of the week we did, and it straight up wouldn't load. So I just screenshotted the error on the daily newspaper. So, but I thought it was funny. Apparently, being accurate is your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, dude, this will be fun. We'll watch this video. And I'm like, oh, yeah, no. It's
not there anymore.
it won't work.
Yeah,
So,
I remember that.
It said something went wrong.
yeah, I don't know. You got older and I got grayer, man. What the hell happened?
I'm probably going to go to college for golf. I'm trying to find a NAI or JUCO in this area to go to. Obviously, if a school says, hey, come here and I'll give you a golf scholarship and you can walk on to play basketball, then I would obviously probably walk on and play basketball. But right now my focus is getting myself for college for golf.
Do you have some spots picked out or ideal landing areas? What do you think?
I've talked to a ton of almost all the coaches in this area down in Arizona. Chandler Gilbert is one of the top of my list. If I can get that coach to come at me a little more, and I can go at him a little more, then
Come on, coach.
I'd already be there.
We're going to tag him on Twitter. We're going to get him.
Yeah. And then obviously all the other NAIAs like Ottawa and Scottsdale or all of them. I've sent out emails and everything, but we're working to that.
How's golf recruiting, or is it the same as basketball, football, or is
Golf
it?
recruiting is really tough actually, because all the best golfers want to come here. All the best golfers want to come to Arizona because
You don't
want
want to go back east, and my son's in 20
No.
inches of snow. I don't think it's been over 15
That's
degrees
exactly where I
in
don't
2
want to
weeks.
be. Yeah, it's just cold.
Yeah.
It's cold over there. It's just I don't know. I don't like it.
Should have bought him more jackets. I'm sorry, son.
Yeah, but it's a tough process. There's a lot of people trying to come to the same places as I am.
Yep.
So
So, Coach, in terms of recruiting athletes, you have some college basketball players coming through your program right now.
Yep.
If they want to, what is your, relationship or ability to find these guys homes? Do you just essentially support them? Tell me a little bit about your feelings on recruiting, getting kids to
Yeah.
college.
We need to definitely, as River Valley coaching staff, I have a good coaching staff of about 5 other adults, which is great because we didn't have that at the beginning. So I think we need to come together and kind of create a template a little bit better where we can have players fill out whatever they want. We need to get highlights going a little more. I do have college contacts. I would say us as a coaching staff, we need to definitely start kind of getting on it more now that, college wasn't a thought when I first came on to River Valley at all. So we hadn't done anything with it. And now that we see these players that are kind of developing, it's actually really important for us as coaches to kind of try to take that extra step. I think with Nash and with Gabe, I've talked to them about it, but it's been a little more like, if you guys can provide me some stuff, I can help put it out for you, where hopefully moving forward we can be a little more proactive and have kind of a set up system where we gather information and kind of get it out for the kids, because it's huge. You got to have someone that kind of sticks up for you, and like Nash is seeing now, it sounds like the same thing I did. It's just a lot of cold calling.
It's
and
better
a
than
lot
manila
of,
envelopes and VHS tape,
Man,
so that's what we did back
it's
in
a
the
process, so.
Stone Age. What was really interesting when I was helping with football is we live in a very isolated corner of this state.
Yep.
We're not in Nevada. We don't get any of that weird, we're an hour away from Vegas, right? And we're not in the mountains, so we don't get that Prescott, Flagstaff, whatever circle, and we're not in Phoenix. But we have a lot of talented kids up here, and I don't know how to get more eyes on them because we've got a good group of kids. Like we're talking about
We do.
all the success in three-point shooting, and you tell me in the college world they're not looking for accurate three-point shooters.
I know.
Proven.
I know.
So we've got to find a way to get more eyes on this area.
I know, it's tough. It's tough that we have these 3 or now 4 high schools all in the area, and it's kind of like it makes everyone a little bit weaker, where if we could have one solidified
Brother,
high school, we could be 5 or 6A,
You're
and we could
talking
really
my
compete.
language. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, but it's
I
kind
just
of the way
saw
it's
another
set up.
school starting some, and I get it. You have a school, you just want to provide for them kids, but you just draw a little and you draw a little, and then you draw a little bit more resources, a little bit more coaching, a little less athletes, and it makes it tough, and it's kind of part of what is so special, what you guys got going on down there with the batch of kids you have. In basketball, you need 10 guys, football, you need 30.
Yeah.
It's hard to do with.
I know.
Yeah.
And we would have some great football teams too, I feel like.
Oh,
if they
yeah.
combined up, I mean.
So I don't know. I always go back to my Firebird football stories. Sorry, guys. But, like, most of the best football players that played in the area the last couple of years all played youth ball together. And every time I see any one of them, I'm always like, I just wish you guys all would have went to the same school. You've got all, multiple players of the year, defensive MVPs, D1 prospects, all this, and they're spread out over 3 schools. And they all had success in their own right at those schools, but it could have been absolutely special had they been in just 2 places instead of 3.
I know. It's like you said earlier, where it's just you put in all this time, and high school is like, it's a special moment. And even though they won a lot of games and they had this, it's like, you don't get that high school experience. Is different. And
it's very different.
if they could have been there with the crowd and with the, it's just.
I'll tell you, from an old guy perspective, I've had I was a player, played high school sports, a parent, a coach. Now I'm essentially, like a media guy. I observe things from the outside. And, so now that I'm a parent, I'm sitting in the stands, I'm hearing parents so proud of their kids, what it means to them, the grandparents to see their kids recognized, successful. And a lot of those things are, being lost. And, especially with this Athlete of the Week deal, we're trying to keep it going and this and that, but it's really hard because at the end of the day, I'm a car dealership. I can't cover sports full time and then, keep my job.
I know.
We got you.
So,
I know.
Anyway, I'm really appreciative, for one, that you guys came down here, sat down, talked with us. Coach, I'm very grateful through whatever way you landed here, that you landed out there and you've done what you've done for these guys. And I hope everyone else understands. You see it in every place. A coach makes a big difference. I was talking to Big Tyro down at Mauk, and with respect to the Mauk kids, they got good athletes, they're talented, they're well coached. They play good basketball.
Correct.
And you guys are doing the same thing, man. You got a big game coming up, the 5th?
Yep.
Is that right? What the hell
Thursday.
day's today?
Tomorrow.
Where is it, on the road?
Phoenix.
Brutal. And it's almost, I won't say a must win, but it's a big one for you.
Yeah.
It's a must win.
Yeah.
Yeah? Tell me a little bit about the scenario. Obviously, it's ALA West. Very good team. We just talked about the turnaround, with ALA West.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about where you guys are at in your season and what that means.
Right now, we're basically tied for second in the conference with ALA. We play them tomorrow, and basically 2 teams out of our conference go to the playoffs. So if we win, we're obviously in for sure. If we lose, it comes down to schedules and how other teams do, and we still might get in, but we have much more control of our destiny if we can just handle business.
So it's tough making the playoffs up here in the corner if you're not one of them undeniables, right?
Yep.
And if you don't know, you guys have Yuma Catholic and ALA West. Who else is in your conference? Those are the 2 big ones, right?
Nobody else really.
Big metro schools. Yuma Catholic's a whole nother animal. Don't get me started on. And for a team like yours to even be worried about getting to the playoffs is crazy to me.
Yep.
I hope that logic prevails. You're not penalized by the teams you're forced to play. It's out of your control.
Yep.
And hope you guys get in there. But it's tough when the playoff seedings aren't quite logical.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Those are the opinions of Shane, not Findlay Motor Company or River Valley Athletics. That is my opinion. The AIA needs to figure their stuff out sometimes. So,
Yeah.
gentlemen, I appreciate it. I really hope that you guys go down there, handle business, you get in. If you do win, would you get a home playoff game? You got to be on the road.
I think we're going to get a home one if we win.
Yeah.
I think so.
If you do, let me know. I'm sure River Valley's done a great job promoting their sports, their athletics, things like that. So I'm sure it'll be out there, but let us know, send us that information. We'll share it, try and pack that gym out old school style.
Yeah, that'll be
Standing
fun.
room only.
Need it.
Make whoever comes up here really uncomfortable.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
Congratulations on your 1,000 points, man. And like I said, what actually had happened was I had been wanting to talk to you guys about the turnaround of your team since early in the year. I told you I reached out to Brian, and he's like, I'm good, man. Go talk to somebody else, you know. And it happened right as you were getting your 1,000 points. Coach was able to come on, and I'm really grateful that you guys were able to make this happen.
Thank you.
You represent your team well, your school well, and go out there, win one more, and play another game.
We will.
Yeah, we're really appreciative too of you. Obviously, keeping this thing going and representing for the athletes out here. It's it's a hard job. There's a lot of different schools. There's a lot of sports. There's a lot of numbers you got to go through, and just for you taking the time to kind of set this up and promote these kids, means a lot to the community, and so we're appreciative of you, for sure.
Thank you. I very much appreciate it, and
Thank you very much.
hopefully we'll be on here talking about maybe state championship or something here in a couple weeks.
Man, I know.
One game at a time. One game at a time. I'll say it for you.
Yep.
Right on, fellas. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Anything you want to say out to anybody?
Not really. I guess the last one is just Nash. Just so appreciative of him and everything he's done for the program. And, it's been a crazy journey, and I got some funny stories I'm saving for the banquet. But, we've been through a lot. And, yeah, it's just fun to see it go from the bottom of the bottom. Like, man, I can remember the first day going into River Valley and coming from L.A., like I said, it was just like, man, what is going on, or what are we looking at? And to see it now is like it feels good, and the team is, they can go out and play with anybody. So it feels really rewarding to me to see how much they've put in. And Nash, I wish we had Gabe here to show for him too, because he's been in it. But, I'm just really excited for Nash and coming forward. I hope he gets to play basketball, but he's a great golfer, and, he's just got a bright future.
You can play golf even longer than basketball, so you're in luck.
You picked two good sports. I know. The two you can continuously play. Man. You're not playing no pickup football at 30 years old.
That's the story I told my football guys. You enjoy this, man, because when it's done, it's done. There's no, hey, let's go down and round up, 30 guys and run 11s. No, it don't happen. So appreciate it, gentlemen. This is an open invite. When your season is over, bring some of the boys down, and let's talk about what they got going on, things like that. Yep. We would like to continually have communication, correspondence, especially, and I'm not trying to pick on a poor newspaper. We don't want you guys to get lost. You'll always get the recognition in your own school and your own bubble.
Yep.
But we want to let the community know what's going on out here when there's good things happening. So I appreciate you guys. Open invite whenever this thing's done, hopefully in several weeks. Come on back, bring the boys down. We don't have enough mics, but we'll make it work.
Yep.
So appreciate it, fellas.
That'll be fun. Yeah, appreciate
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Thanks,
Good luck
guys.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
Welcome to Findlay Chevrolet GMC Bullhead City, your destination for dependable Chevrolet vehicles and powerful GMC trucks. Built with advanced technology, comfort, and capability. Our friendly team makes every visit easy and stress-free. Plus, certified service you can count on. Quality vehicles and trusted care. Visit Findlay Chevrolet GMC Bullhead City today.